Early one morning and the sun was shining, I was lying in bed, wondering if she changed at all and if her hair was still red. Her folks said that our lives together sure were gonna be rough. Never did like Mama's homemade dress, and Papa's banquet wasn't big enough. I was standing at the side of the road, rain falling on my shoes, heading out to the East Coast. Lord knows I paid my dues, getting through, tangled up in blue. She was married when we first met, soon to be divorced. Helped her out of a jam, I guess, but I used a little too much force. We drove that car as far as we could, abandoned it out west. Split up on a dark, sad night, both agreeing it was best. She turned around to look at me as I was walking away. I heard her say over my shoulder, "We'll meet again someday on the avenue, tangled up in blue." Had a job in the great North Woods, working as a cook for a spell. Never did like it all that much, and one day the axe just fell. I drifted down to New Orleans, where I happened to be employed, working for a while on a fishing boat right outside of Delacroix. All the while I was alone, the past was close behind. I seen a lot of women, she never escaped my mind, and I just grew tangled up in blue. She was working in a topless place. I stopped in for a beer, just kept looking at the side of her face in the spotlight so clear. Later on, as the crowd thinned out, I was about to do the same. She was standing there in the back of my chair, said to me, "Don't I know your name?" I put something underneath my breath. She studied the lines of my face. I must admit I felt a little uneasy when she bent down to tie the lace of my shoe, tangled up in blue. She lit a burner on the stove and offered me a pipe. "But you never say hello," she said, "you look like the silent type." She opened up a book of poems and handed it to me, written by an Italian poet from the 13th century. And every one of them words rang true, glowed like a burning coal, pouring off of every page like it's written in my soul. From me to you, tangled up in blue. Live with them on Montague Street, in the basement down the stairs. Music in the cafes at night and revolution in the air. Then he started into dealing slaves and something inside of him died. She had to sell everything she owned and froze up inside. And finally the bottom fell out, I became withdrawn. The only thing I knew how to do was to keep on keeping on, like a bird that flew, tangled up in blue. Now I'm going back again, got to get her somehow. All the people we used to know, they're illusions to me now. Some are mathematicians, some are carpenters' wives. Don't know how it all got started, I don't know what they're doing with their lives. Me, I'm still on the road and heading for another joint. We always did feel the same, we just saw it from a different point of view, tangled up in blue. Tangled up in blue.